Abdulwahab Jamal saluting everybody. Welcome to a new English session. Today we are going to deal with Cambridge Lower Secondary, Unit 3, Lesson number 4, 3.4, Reviewing Films. The objectives of today, we will identify the structural features of a film review. We will analyze how writers use language to create journalistic style or review style, and then we are going to explain how to use descriptive language to express opinions in a review. Review, it is to give your opinion or to comment or suggestion or recommendation about an experience which you have. Reading a book, watching a film, visiting a place, restaurant, um, trying or experiencing something new. So you will base your opinion or comment on some facts about the place, about the book, about the dish, for example, and you will hear or you will seek for others' comment, for others' opinions. After that, you will come up with your own opinion from your own experience. You cannot judge something, you cannot evaluate something without trying it. That's a review. That's a review. So a review text is a written graph. It gives information and an opinion about something the writer has experienced, such as a film, a restaurant, a book. We have here a film review, The Incredibles, absolutely incredible. And as I said before we start, we have to look at the shape or at the layout of the review. We have catchy title, we have the name of the reviewer, we have the rate, 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. We have introduction, then we have body, body 2, body 3, and then we have the conclusion or the ending. Let's start with this film review. Let's listen to it. Let's read it with each other, and then we are going to break down, analyze the text with each other.
The Incredibles. Absolutely incredible. Reviewed by Jenny Hamster. Search you. The Incredibles is an incredibly funny and incredibly warm comedy that made me laugh like a horse. In fact, I laughed so hard I sometimes felt my ribs would explode, like the pixelated characters in the film. I felt I'd been flung through walls, thrown into the ocean, and hurled headlong into the sky. The film puts lots of different ideas in the blender. It felt like a mixture of X-Men and Batman, but very modern at the same time. Pixar have taken earlier films and turned them into something altogether new. The story begins in the late 1940s and features Mr. Incredible, voiced by Craig T. Nelson, and his fiancée, Elastigirl, voiced by Holly Hunter. Elastigirl has the incredible ability to stretch in every direction. The couple use their skills to defeat robbers and help citizens, but pretty soon their activities are halted when lawyers and money-seeking survivors take Mr. Incredible to court. In short, the fantastic duo have to move to another city. The story takes a turn when larger and balding Mr. Incredible is offered the opportunity to work again as a superhero. The temptation is great, but the man behind this offer remains a mystery. Does he really want Mr. Incredible to return? Or is he a former enemy trying to destroy the former superhero? The animation and accompanying soundtrack are mind blowing. These are just two of the standout features of this film, but it's the humour that wins the viewer over. It's not just the main characters who entertain, but the hilarious bespectacled Edna Mode, the designer of superhero costumes who reworks Mr. Incredible's outfit. The lines given to her are some of the best in the film. Superhero films are nothing new, but this one feels fresh. If you're looking for the classic holiday film which provides fun for all the family, search no further. The Incredibles is incredible comedy.
It's fantastic. It is really a good film review. Now, in order to talk about this film review, I want to analyze the text with you. If I look at the text, I have introduction about the film review, the plot overview, and then I have the film features, and after that I have final thoughts or suggestions. The purpose of the text is to provide a film review of The Incredibles, sharing the reviewer opinions about the movie, about the film, and highlighting its strength and entertaining features. The review offers an insightful look at the film's animation, humor, and characters, while recommending it for family viewing. The review is written by Jenny Hamster. She is the reviewer, and it is rated as U, which means universal, suitable for all audiences. The Incredibles is a superhero comedy animated film created by Pixar, blending action, humor, and heartwarming family theme. The genre of the writing or the text is film review, and usually the film review includes four parts. An overview of the plot, that's number one. An introduction, a brief description of the film story. Number two, personal opinion, discussion of what works well or not in the film, so maybe positive, maybe negative. We have in the end recommendation or suggestions on whether the reader should watch the movie or not. In my opinion, it is a mixture between information, facts, and opinion or suggestion. It's a mixture between informative and persuasive writing. It's to review, to give your opinion based on facts. The film review, as I said, it starts with an introduction, which is a quick summary of the film and its general theme. It will give an overview about the film. And then we have an analysis, an in-depth look to the film's important features like animation, characters, humors, for example, the actors, the producers, the directors, and so on. And then we have the conclusion, which is the reviewer final thoughts based on his own personal experience and what other people said. It will summarize whether the film is worth to watch or not. In the introduction, we have something very attractive, like The Incredibles is an incredibly funny and incredibly warm comedy. The repetition is to attract the reader or to persuade you. About the analysis, we have The Incredibles combines superhero action with humor and family-friendly entertainment. So it mentions specific characters and moments like Edna Mode's funny lines. And the conclusion, we have a suggestion. If you are looking for the classic holiday film which provides fun for all family, search no further. Look at the alliteration F, F, F. Yes, lots of figurative language in order to attract the reader. Now, I want to start talking about the film itself. How can I break down the plot? The story of the film begins in the late 1940, featuring Mr. Incredible and his fiancée, Elastigirl, who are both superheroes. And then we will give an idea about the characters, like Mr. Incredibles and Elastigirl. And we will say what's the conflict, what's the problem. I'm telling the story of the film, the plot of the film. After the crime fighting is stopped by the law, they are forced to move again to another city and then again to fight evil later. Later story, 15 years, as I said, Mr. Incredible is given the chance to work as a superhero again. All of this, of course, keeping the mysterious person who hired them again. All of this is what? A summary about the plot you have to introduce in the beginning, in the introduction, in order to tell the reader what is going on, what the film is talking about. Try not to burn the story. Don't say what will happen later or in the end, because you need the reader or the spectacular to watch the film. Okay, so give hints about the film. Give an overview about the film, what is going on, but don't say what will happen in the end. Now, key features of the film: we have a humor, we have animation, we have sound track. Okay, and we have lots of idioms and figurative language like mind-blowing animation. The theme: familial and identity. The family film explores the family relationship and how they are working to each important and working with each other. And the world, the identity is also touched the idea of identity, like the characters struggle to uh, find himself because he is no more superhero, and later he found himself in superhero again. I have some powerful words like incredibly, which means extremely, remarkably. And the idea is to emphasize how good or impressive the film is. Pixelated, it is a technical word which means very small digital squares, blurry, computerized, in order to make the animation. And that refers to the digital nature of the film's animation. Bespeculated, bespeculate, uh, wearing glasses, okay, or spectacle. And to describe the character of Edna Mood, adding a specific visual detail, okay, to highlight him, to know him. Headlong, quickly and suddenly, and it highlights the action in the film, giving a sense of urgency and the speed. Soundtrack is the music in a film or in the TV show, okay, which emphasize the role of the music and enhance the movie experience. Going to the text again, I have to give a background or an overview, for example, about the film. What is the film is talking about? Who are the characters? Who are the actors? Those all are facts. I have to mention them in the beginning. After that, I will move to the film itself, okay, and what is going on inside it, the plot of it. Talk about it. Tell me the story of it without burning it, okay? Use a chatty language, use a friendly language, use informal language, put rhetorical questions, put all the persuasive techniques like repetition, alliteration, using facts, using information, using opinion, repetition. All of these persuasive techniques are important in writing the review in order to attract the reader and convince him of your idea. If you like this or if you don't like this, you are trying to convince the reader or the person to watch the film or not to watch it. After that, you have to mention the opinion of people. What did they say about it? And put your own opinion, as well as in the final paragraph we have recommendation or suggestion. You have to clear, you have clearly to suggest, to recommend. Yes, I recommend watching it. No, I don't recommend watching it. That's the review. That's to give your opinion about something based on information and other opinions. That's the review. If we want now to answer these questions, let's say, answer the following questions about the review. These are WH questions. Which genre does The Incredibles belong to? The Incredibles belong to a superhero, action, adventure, or comedy and family film. It combines all of these genres into one. Name one other film that influenced The Incredibles. We have two superhero films. They were mentioned, the X-Men and Batman. The X-Men and Batman. A mixture between X-Men and Batman. But very modern at the same time. But very modern at the same time. Is the reviewer opinion positive or negative? It is positive. Provide two quotations to support your answer. The animation of and accompanying soundtrack are mind-blowing, mind-blowing, and I'm exaggerating or overreacting towards this to show that I am wow, I am very convinced, it's very positive. And number two, the humor wins the viewer over. I was laughing like a horse. Okay, all of these similes and idioms are very important to support the opinion or the positive opinion. And then question two, film reviewers use technical film vocabulary and factual language. Copy the table and try to give examples related to the language type. It's easy. We are just analyzing the review. So the language type, names of directors, actors, etc. We have Pixar, which is the film studio. We have Craig T. Nelson, is the voice actor. And technical language like animation, soundtrack. Facts about the film, the story begins in the late 1940. 1940, I have what? I have date. I have facts. Now, something very important about the structural features of a film. A film review have a specific parts that help the reader to understand the film, as we said. A title is the name of the film, while cast or the actors are the main actors or the voice actors participated in doing the film or the movie. Plot is the summary of the story. Backstory, it's the background information about the characters or setting. Reviewer's verdict, the reviewer's opinion, stars or grades. The rates, I mean. Technical language, words related to a filmmaking like soundtrack, animation. The descriptive language are adjectives, adverbs, phrases that describe the film. Mind-blowing animation, an example. Opinion, are statements two people can argue about, while facts are statements people cannot argue. So a review mixes facts with opinions in order to persuade you. And writers used adjectives and figurative language in order to express their feelings about a film and attract the reader into reading their review. We have literal meaning when we will say the animation is good, and we have figurative meaning when we will say it is mind-blowing. Both have positive meaning, but again, we are playing on words. Now, after we explain the words or the terms used inside the review, we have now to come and uh, apply it on our review. The title of the film, The Incredibles. Cast or actors, we have Craig T. Nelson, Mr. Incredible, and we have Holly Hunter, the Elastigirl. The plot, the story of Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl fighting crime. Backstory, the couple moves to another city after legal issues and they hide or they hid their identity. Reviewers' verdict, The Incredibles is incredibly or incredible comedy. It has positive comment or opinion. Now we have two or three quotation we need to analyze or to explain. The writer combines formal and technical language with long descriptive sentences. This reviewer builds up adjectives to combine facts with her opinion of the film. Read A and B, and then underline the noun being described, and write a sentence explaining the adjective in italic. Suggest about the writer's opinion of the film. Example, The Incredible is incredible comedy. It suggests using the word incredible that the writer is trying to convey she thinks this comedy film is unbelievable, unbelievably good. It is as astounding film. Now, the animation and accompanying soundtrack are mind-blowing. Focus on this. And we have the second one, the hilarious, bespectacled Edna Mood. So I have hilarious, I have mind-blowing. The noun, of course, is animation, and we have soundtrack. The explanation, I'm describing, I'm modifying the animation and the soundtrack. The writer thinks that the animation and the soundtrack are amazing and impressive. The word hilarious, hilarious spectacle, Edna mode. The noun is Edna mode. I'm describing him or I'm modifying him by being bespectacled and hilarious. The writer finds Edna mode very funny. Look at the figurative language used. Okay, and remember, literal meaning, it means something true. Original meaning, explained usually when you read in a direct way or open the dictionary, you will find the meaning. While a figurative language, it has another meaning or it has deep meaning. You have to think twice if you wish to say it is indirect. But it has the same meaning of the literal, but it is not obvious. You have to think of it. When I will say the film puts lots of different ideas in the blender, so it is like you are taking some fruits or vegetables and you are blending them with each other in the blender. It means it's a mixture. The film mixes up lots of different genres, okay? Because we said it is superhero, it is comedy, it is film, family film, and so on. We have number A and number B, and I need you to explain or to analyze these two figurative language. I sometimes felt my ribs would explode. Exaggeration of laugh. Incredibly warm comedy that made me laugh like a horse. A simile or an idiom which emphasize or show how funny the film is. So I sometimes felt my ribs would explode. I laughed so hard that I felt like my ribs might hurt. It emphasizes or it has an impact how funny the film is. Incredibly warm comedy that made me laugh like a horse. The comedy was very funny and made me laugh loudly. Both are figurative language and they have the meaning of literal language, which is I am happy, the story is funny, the plot is hilarious. Some word phrase and their meanings. The soundtrack, as we said, the music in a film or a TV show. Spectacle, wearing glasses. Plot, it's the main events of the story, the film, the play. The backstory, the fictional history, the background of a character. Opinion, it's a personal view or judgment about something in the film. And literal, it means the original meaning of the word as explained in the dictionary. Now I have to make a plenary or to make a very short assessment, let's say. What is the main purpose of a film review? Is it to tell the entire story of a film, to give the reviewer's opinion and inform the audience, or to list the actors in the film? C is missing, or A is missing. But the best thing is to give the reviewer's opinion and to inform the audience. So I have mixture of purposes. To give opinion and to inform, to give information, both. Which of the following is an example of figurative language? The animation is good. That's normal. Literal. The animation is mind-blowing. Yes, it is figurative. Exaggeration, hyperbole. The animation was created by Pixar. That's an information. It's fact. Now I have writing task. Okay, write a short review of your favorite film using descriptive language and opinions. The plan: choose any film you want and jot down title, cast, plot, and what's your opinion or other people's opinion. Draft, write your review, put paragraphs, put structural features, put descriptive language, and when you finish, please revise and edit. Check your work for grammar, punctuation, and clarity. For making the notes, I love this movie. I really love Toy Story, the title. Cast: Tom Hanks, Woody, and Tim Allen, the Buzz Lightyear. Uh, Plot, of course, it's a story about toys that comes to life when humans aren't around, okay, and how these toys, let's say, examine the life, okay, of the people. Opinion: Toy Story is heartwarming and hilarious film that appeals to all ages. It has a theme, okay, it has a theme of family, loyalty, and dreams, okay, to the infinity and beyond, if you remember. That's very important theme. And how all the time you go back to reality. The animation is a ground breaking, and the characters are unforgettable. Those are opinions. I have an example. Listen to mine. Super Adventures. Super Adventures is an absolutely thrilling and hilarious action film that made me laugh out loud and on the edge of my seat. Can you see the figurative language? And I give opinion and information about it. The story, now the plot, follows a group of teenagers who discover they have unique powers. Together, they must stop an evil villain from taking over the world. That's the plot overview of the film. The animation is spectacular with every scene looking real. It felt like I was part of the adventure. I'm using simile and I'm using exaggeration and I'm using powerful words in my description. The characters are fantastic. Max, comma, who can control fire, is a brave but a little reckless. I'm talking now about the cast, the characters. Lily, who can turn invisible, is clever and quick thinking. The villain, Dark Lord, is sinister and terrifying. What makes the film so special is the humor. Max's clumsy attempts at being a hero had me in stitches. Can you see? Figurative language. The soundtrack is equally impressive with upbeat music during action scenes and soft emotional tone in the quieter moment. Now the suggestion, the recommendation. If you are looking for a movie that is full of action, laughs, and unforgettable characters, Super Adventure is the perfect choice. It is an incredible film that will make you laugh and cheer for the heroes. I took the same style of the film review of the Incredible, and I rewrote it, okay, using my own entry, if you wish to say. I have an introduction. The review starts by summarizing the film's genre and basic plot, and then I have an analysis in the middle. The review focuses on the film's character, humor, and animation, just like an original review of The Incredibles. We intended to do that, to take the text as a model and write like it. And conclusion or recommendation, the review gives a strong recommendation, encouraging the reader to watch the film based on some facts and opinions. Remember that you are trying to convince, so all the time use a catchy title, alliteration, facts, information, rhetorical questions, statistics, emotional language, and so on. All the time remember the checklist. Do your review include a brief summary of a film? Have you shared your personal opinion of the film? Have you talked about the strength and weakness of the film? Did you conclude a recommendation or suggestion in the end? Have you organized your review into introduction, analysis, conclusion, and paragraph? Did you use the appropriate language and the style, informal language, engaging, informative, persuasive? Is your review relevant to the audience you are talking or writing to people, to young people, to old people, to every people? What about the powerful words? Did you describe or use powerful words like amazing, mind-blowing, funny? Did you include any literary devices as well as some figurative language like alliteration, exaggeration, or simile? What about your punctuation and the spelling? Did you revise them? How about capitalization and sentence structure? Did you vary your sentences? And for the text structure, do we have clear paragraphs and transition smoothly between characters, or sorry, between paragraphs? Are your sentences well structured in uh, an easy unit to understand? All of these are questions can be found in the checklist. And remember, we have a title, that's the map, okay, of your writing. With the title, the catchy one, talk about cast and actors, go for plot, give information and opinion about it. What about the backstory? And then give me the reviewer's verdict and say your recommendation or your suggestion. You have a homework 3.4 reviewing film. You have focus. I need you to tell me the series, film, or both series. Which one, for example, can be found, title of the film review, and so on. And number two, we have a review, and they are asking us some questions. Underline, label any features you can see from those can be found inside the review. Annotation, I mean. And in the end, we have writing. Decide whether the language suggests the review, giving a positive or negative judgment. Explain and give evidence from the text. By doing this, we have finished review writing, film review. I'd like to thank you so much for having me today, and next session, inshallah, we will try to write a review, okay, in a session. And that's Mr. Abdul Wahab Jamal saluting everybody. Thank you so much for having me, and have a nice night.